Under growing pressure to explain why he authorized a top White House official to leak intelligence about Iraq, President Bush today for the first time offered an explanation. The president suggested that in July 2003 he wanted to respond to the mounting criticism over his pre-war claims and wanted to give weight to his case for war.
I thought it was important for people to get a better sense for why I was saying what I was saying in my speeches. And I felt I could do so without jeopardizing, ongoing intelligence matters. And so I did.
The president's comments amounted to a confirmation of the news in court documents last week about Scooter Libby, Vice President Cheney's indicted former chief of staff. According to the documents, Libby testified he was authorized to leak part of a classified national intelligence estimate in order to try to undercut administration critic Joe Wilson. Libby said he had received approval from President Bush through Vice President Cheney. The president today spoke broadly.
I wanted people to see the truth. And I thought it made sense for people to see the truth. And that's why I declassified the document.
But based on Libby's grand jury testimony, much of what Libby told New York Times reporter Judith Miller about the intelligence document was wrong. In their crucial July 8, 2003 meeting, Libby told her, quote, one key judgment of the NIA held that Iraq was vigorously trying to procure uranium. But that was not a judgment at all, much less a key judgment, according to CIA officials who wrote the document. And they said the vigorously trying to pursue language was not in the document at all. In other words, it may have been the same selective use of intelligence to justify the war that was used to sell the war, ignoring the views of several government agencies while accepting the views of one. In addition, it's still not clear why President Bush, Vice President Cheney, and Scooter Libby were the only administration officials who knew about the decision to declassify any part of the NIE. Everybody else at the time, including CIA Director George Tenet, who was responsible for the document, were kept in the dark. It's also not clear why Scooter Libby sought to conceal his identity by demanding that reporter Judy Miller identify him as a former Hill staffer. And President Bush today gave no indication what Vice President Cheney told him or what he told the Vice President, if anything, about the specific effort to counter critic Joe Wilson, an effort that led to the disclosure of the identity of CIA operative Valerie Plame.
There's an ongoing legal proceeding which precludes me from talking a lot about the case.
White House officials have often cited Patrick Fitzgerald's investigation as a reason not to address the unanswered questions. Legal experts point out, however, there is nothing that stops the president or any other official from publicly answering every question if they wanted to.
A witness in a criminal investigation, whether or not that witness has gone before the grand jury, can talk anytime they want about it.
It's an analysis shared by the Republican chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, Arlen Specter, who is now calling on President Bush to state publicly and specifically what he knows about the CIA leak case.
But I do say that there's been enough of a showing here with what's been filed of record in court that the President of the United States owes a specific explanation to the American people.
3 years ago, when the president was specifically asked about the CIA leak case, he said,
I don't know of anybody in my administration who leaked classified information. I'd like to know if somebody in my White House did leak sensitive information.
But I think to the man or woman in the street, they say, well, is this how classified information is declassified? You talk to a reporter, you don't discuss it, it appears, with any of your intelligence chieftains. I think people are going to have a lot of trouble with this.
White House officials are leaving open the possibility that President Bush may take another stab at the CIA leak case in the days ahead. As one Republican outside the administration noted today, the president's credibility problems may only get worse if the image hardens that this White House cherry-picks intelligence and plays by its own set of rules. I'm David Shuster for Hardball in Washington.